Relations between Uganda and many of her neighbors had soured as some of the regimes after independence were provocative. In addition to helping improve these relations, being economically minded, the NRM regime thought that the market could be expanded for Ugandan products by having a peaceful region.
Our doctrine of peace building is different from what I see happening in the world.
Nevertheless, the regime thought that Uganda should also defend democratic and human rights of African people against dictators who suppressed them. Indeed, the NRM government started supporting freedom fight activities in several parts of the continent, especially in South African countries. According to the NRM, its foreign policy seeks to promote and protect Uganda's national interests abroad. This was furthered by the 1995 Constitution principles of good neighborliness and mutual cooperation, respect for international law, peaceful coexistence and settlement of disputes, mutual trust, political will and sovereign equality, respect for sanctity of life, condemnation of and rejection of impunity and political assassination, acts of terrorism and subversive activities, right of self-defense in instances of attack or threat of aggression, respect of human rights, consistency with national and a participatory and consultative approach. In trying to follow this mission, Uganda became the first country to deploy troops in Somalia to try and stabilize the country. For the opposition within Uganda, the complaint has been that some of the country's involvement in the neighboring countries have gone without the approval of parliament. This to them is a sign of lack of accountability to the people of Uganda. Uganda and indeed President Yoweri Museveni have been at the forefront in advocating for the East African community. It is for these roles that the president has come under attack by critics for attempting to bulldoze the rest of the region so that he could be leader of the East African Federation. The president, however, insists that his mission is getting market for Ugandan products and ease the flow of raw materials in the region. It was under the NRM government in 2007 that Uganda hosted the first Commonwealth Heads of Government Joga meeting in Kampala, attended by the Queen of England.
Prince Philip and I have many fond memories of our last visit together to Uganda. In the years since, your country has made considerable advances in spite of periods of adversity. I expect that what has helped sustain modern Uganda is the attribute that was so evident in 1954 and again today, in the generous manner we have been welcomed, the great warmth and friendliness of its people. We are delighted to be here once more.
These efforts have helped raise the status of the president in the region, with some taking him as kingmaker who handles most of the matters in the region. Indeed, matters of DR Congo, Somalia, South Sudan have most of the times been handled in Kampala, including the current M23 rebels and DR Congo talks held in the capital.
We are operating within the constitution of the DRC. Whatever M23 is asking is within the constitution. Whatever the government is going to compromise on is within the constitution.
Currently, Uganda chairs the East African Community, the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa COMESA, and the Peace, Security and Development Outfit, the International Conference on the Great Lakes Region ICGLR, where he has been at the helm since December 2011.
We only saw those two dimensions, the political and the economic. Since SADC did not make the political integration dimension explicit, we do not see the need to duplicate the trading arrangement mechanism. I am glad that now COMESA, EAC, and SADC are engaged with one another under the tripartite efforts.
President Museveni's rise to these positions may have caused ripples of unease at the African Union, where there is a growing sense that the Ugandan head of state is positioning himself as the continent's top dog. At the helm of COMESA, EAC and ICGLR, President Museveni will influence security, trade and economic policies of 23 countries with a population of nearly 450 million people. Uganda has also deployed in both Sudan and Somalia for peacekeeping missions, which has put it in light of peace seeker in the region. At a time when Somalia was volatile and many feared venturing there, Uganda became the first country to deploy an African Union mission for Somalia, AMISOM. But the country under the regime has had its own troubles. Issues have been raised on Uganda's role in wars in DR Congo, questions on the issues in Rwanda and Burundi, where the country has been cited. The worst the country has come to terms with is when the UN body ordered Uganda to pay DR Congo for stealing their resources. Some have said that currently no sitting African president rivals President Museveni's credentials to lead the continent. His role in pacifying Burundi, mediating in the Congo crisis, and fixing Somalia, as well as the respect he commands among Western leaders, are among the things that make him a giant among his peers. But those in government and the president himself say this is only for the benefit of Uganda as a country and not the president as an individual. John Baptist Timokola, WBS News.